Thanks for staying tuned to the Hgp Sports. We start with rugby and some good news for that sport. The Guyana Olympic Association undertakes to offset 60% of expenses for various overseas tournaments for the Guyana national rugby team, the Green Machine. We have the details. Scheduled to depart on Saturday for Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Sevens, the Green Machine can play without having to worry about finances. The GOA has filled the void for that and other upcoming overseas meets. President of the GOA, K.A. Juman Yassin.
The preparations, as I mentioned, will be borne by the GOA. And so that heartache and that burden that the rugby union normally have to go out and beg, we have taken that off their shoulders so that they could concentrate on the important aspect of ensuring that the team are well prepared and all is well.
GRFU President Peter Green lauded the more than generous support of the GOA.
Today is a day that was very special because of the sacrifices the players and administrators went through in 2013 when we had zero finances. Into 2014 when we were able to convince a few sponsors. At the end of 2014, fruits of our labor. Moving into 2015 is the start of...
Green said too that the Green Machine now needs more international engagements outside of their present zone, and financial support will help to give that additional playing scope.
Internationally, the men have done well in 15s, and it's becoming harder and harder now to find the sort of competition in this region. Only way Guyana Rugby will move forward both in 15s and 7s, especially 7s, is to have more international exposure. Whether we can bring people home here and play, or whether we go to the tournaments. The tournaments wouldn't come here as yet. There are no facilities.
Some $14 million was given to the GRFU to cover expenses for several tournaments by the GOA. Bakewell throws its support behind the increasingly dominant Sliggers Football Club. Calvin Chapman with the details.
The 25th edition of the Kashif and Shanghai tournament is imminent. On Tuesday, Bakewell pledged their support to Slingers FC during a presentation at the company's Albert Street establishment. Slingers FC have won the West Demerara Football Association's Knockout Cup and the Mayor's Cup as well. The increasingly dominant team will brandish the Bakewell logo. General Manager of Bakewell, Rajin Ganga, spoke on how he felt about the deal.
This is a great moment for us to be associated with Slingers for the Kashif and Shanghai 2015 tournament. Indeed, we're looking forward to some continued relationship and great success.
8 games commenced the Guinness Greatest of the Street, Who is Made of More football tournament, East Coast edition, Wednesday night. Churchyard United opened the fixture against newcomers Paradise. Valsas play Plaisance A in the second match, followed by Buxton against Plaisance B, and the backlist taking on Victoria Eagles in the first session. Following the break, Ansgrove Punters play BVB. Melanie will face off with Mahaika. Golden Grove Superstar do battle with Melanie B, and bringing the curtains down on night 1, BVA takes on newcomers Haslington. All matches are played at the Haslington tarmac. Umpire communications can be heard during umpire referrals, consultations, and DRS players review. An introduction announced by ICC for the remaining 7 matches of Cricket World Cup 2015. The International Cricket Council ICC today confirmed that TV umpire communications during decision-making will be available to host broadcasters Star Sports to put to air the quarterfinals, semifinals, and final of ICC Cricket World Cup 2015, which will be played between 18th and 29th March. The ICC held a successful trial during the one-day international series between Australia and South Africa in November 2014, and it will be introduced for the final 7 matches of ICC Cricket World Cup. The umpire communication can be aired during umpire referrals, consultations, and DRS players review. Quarterfinal matches remaining except for South Africa versus Sri Lanka, which was played Tuesday night, are India against Bangladesh Wednesday, Australia and Pakistan Thursday, New Zealand versus West Indies Friday. The semifinals will be played Monday and Wednesday night, and the final on Saturday night. ICC Cricket World Cup, South Africa breaks knockout stage Udu as they trampled Sri Lanka in Sydney in the first quarterfinal match game. Here is more.
South Africa recorded their first ever victory in a World Cup knockout game when they flattened Sri Lanka by 9 wickets. Sri Lanka's game plan was not executed well as they won the toss and chose to bat first. They were bowled out for 133 in the 38th over. 7 wickets were shared between Imran Tahir and JP Duminy. 4 wickets to the man of the match Tahir and a somewhat unnoticed hat-trick for Duminy with a wicket off the last ball of his 8th over and 2 off the first 2 balls of his 9th over. Replying, South Africa eased through to win the game in the 18th over. The Cox hurried innings of 78 off 57 balls sealed the match for South Africa. Bangladesh takes on India at Melbourne in the second quarter-final, 11:30 p.m. local time. And the West Indies face New Zealand on Friday, 11:30 p.m. local time as well.
That concludes our sportscast. Do join me now for a look at the weather forecast.